Alright, let's get right to it. Spawning in the top left position as our yellow Terran player. Well, I mean, he didn't scout anything, and he didn't have any Vikings. He basically just got destroyed by Broodlords by not scouting. He needs to pause. I wonder if I can zoom in. I can zoom in when it's paused now. I love that they made it so observers can look around while games are paused. Very nice. Ayo, tempo. Yeah, so hopefully everything's okay, guys. I hope all is well. It should be. Hopefully you guys are having nice days. It's a little bit cloudy out here. I don't know. It's Saturday. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think when I'm done casting. I finished uploading my series of VODs for the White Raw Hyun show match, but alright guys, let's just get right back into this. Sorry for the delay. It is in the top left position, our yellow Terran player, Empire.Kas. And spawning in the bottom left position as our teal Zerg player, I have to say, I don't think there was anything really special. It was just a matter of no one really did anything, but we'll have to see how he can do it in this next game. It is VPbenQsLivko. So, I have to say, I don't actually know what's going to happen in this game, largely because last game was not really an indicator of anything from either player. The first game, we saw a lot of multitasking out of Kas. We saw Slivko go for a tech-based build, but Slivko was, I mean, both players were just so greedy and such a lack of scouting that it was almost a build order loss, that Kas went Mass Marine Tank versus Infestor Baneling Broodlord, but I think, I don't know, it was weird. Kas, it looks like he's going to 2-racks, though. He has one barracks building. Keep in mind, Entombed Valley, one of those maps where 2-racksing is actually super crazy popular, but he's going to build them in his main. It's 11-11 inside, basically his main base. At the top of the natural ramp. The Overlord won't scout these when heading up to the main. It shouldn't be able to see these, but Kas, he's not going to be able to scout his opponent very quickly. Luckily for him, it's not cross-spawn, but he doesn't actually know where his opponent is. He may just blindly go to the bottom. I guess it's kind of a risk he's willing to take with this build. There's a 50% chance, of course, that his opponent is his opponent's either below him or across from him. So, the only thing that's weird to me about that is that Kas hasn't sent out an SCV scout. So how is he going to know where Slivko is? First barracks is done. Marines on the way. Kas is going to go scout now with the SCV, sending it to the bottom left position. Marines are rallied in front of the barracks, started 90 scouts. The drone scout is actually going to find these barracks and be like, oh, well, that's not quite a normal barracks timing. Good sir. But the Marines are going to start a step. Actually might kill the drone. Nice score there, of course. Every drone matters when it comes to holding 2-racks. But, Kas SCV scout that? Kas! No! Oh my goodness! He barely missed the hatchery. He's sending everything cross spawn. Oh no, Kas! He didn't go far enough with his worker. Oh my goodness! He could. Wow. Okay, so his SCV goes there, and he's like, wait a second. Maybe I didn't go far enough here. He's like, okay, there's no hatch. Something's wrong. That could have gone bad so quickly. Oh my god. But he does technically recover. He sees that there's no hatchery at the other one. And then he's like, wait, I probably should have looked a little bit further. But the SCVs are here now. He's bringing these bunkers. And yeah, I guess this is not a bad decision from Kas. Tied 1-1, I'm not so sure I would do the same. But, you know, this is doing a little bit of damage. Killing that drone scout was actually really important too. But the Zerglings are moving in. He actually has a good number of Marines already built up. So the Zerglings are having a little bit of difficulty killing them. The Marines start stepping backwards. He needs to make sure this bunker finishes though. Marines are actually being rallied to the tower and not to the bunker. So it's going to be very difficult for Kas to reinforce. But the bunker is going to barely complete. There we go. Now the SCV. Kas, what are you doing? Kas, stop. Okay, so he brings the SCV back. Woo, that was close. Almost give me nerd chills here, man. Spinecrawler stepping up. It's actually pretty injured. So, Kas, I mean, he could probably just kill the Spinecrawler. There's some stutter step micro you can actually do out of a bunker to kill spines, but I feel like Kas is, he's in an okay spot. He's going to need to pull more SCVs, though, if he isn't going to just engage the spine. The spine is really weak, though. There we go. He's microing. I love this little stutter step. It's like you unload as it comes at you. It attacks, you unload. Attacks, unload. And he can actually kill this Spinecrawler pretty handily with this. It's a very nifty micro tactic used, and it's basically a way to abuse the one range because the attack of the Spinecrawler is not instant, but the Zerglings are going to come down. He's going to bring the Queen and try to finish off the repairing SCVs. The Queens do get away, so this bunker is going to go down. He's just going to bring the Marines out once to just try to kill the Spine Crawler. The drones are being pulled. If he kills the Spine, there we go. He actually gets a couple of the drones here, but there's a bunch of Zerglings coming in now. Kas already following up with 2 more barracks and a command center, so it's not completely over, but let's look at some numbers. Kas, workers are even 19 to 18. Of course, Kas has that mule, so that gives him a tiny bit extra income. But at this point now, Slivko is more than free to just pump out a ton of drones. He doesn't have to worry about any sort of I don't know how to say, additional aggression because he has 2 queens and a spine. As weak as this is, it would take a lot of units from Kas to actually blow through this. But the 4 racks follow-up, he could theoretically just get combat shield and just try to blow the door down into the base. Another thing to note is that this also kind of keeps Slivko from getting a fast 3rd base. So he's going to go for double gas in his main. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to do some big counter aggression, but he has 4 queens, so he's invested a lot of resources into his tech. He's actually supply blocked. Okay, no, actually Overlord just finished, so I'm curious how exactly he's gonna take this game any further. He's actually building another Spine Crawler, so he kind of sees, okay, there's another big Marine push coming, and Kas could actually... There's not any Zerglings here. He could bring them in from the other side, but they don't have speed, so they won't actually get there in time to do much. I'd like to see Kas poke up, though. He could probably kill the Spine Crawlers. The Lings aren't here. He starts stepping forward. The Spine Crawler will go down. A couple Zerglings. Not any problem for our Yellow Terran. Stepping forward, killing another Queen. He's going to move forward. A second Queen may also fall. Great control here. And you know what? A really well-picked timing. The Zerglings were not at home to defend. If they were here, you know, he could have just attacked him, flanked him to when he attacked that Spine Crawler. But drones are dying. He focuses down a ton of drones. Kas has killed 13 workers this game. Excellent play. Excellent control. Barely behind in workers, but Slivko, he's getting his lair up. He's going to be able to go for a little bit more tech. I will say he needs to find a way to get a 3rd base. It's difficult enough he hasn't been able to really saturate his natural because of the units lost, but now that drone is headed over here, Kas, he's hitting all the nails on the head. He's moving into his factory. He's getting his stim instead of combat shield, so we're likely going to see Kas follow up, possibly with a single engineering bay. And he actually has a single engineering bay going, and he's mostly going to go for +1 and just go for a medevac stim timing. I don't know if +1 will be done in time, but medevac stim at this point, with how much damage he's done to Slivko's doing double evolution chamber. He's not getting anything that's going to help him hold additional pressure. He's going to get 1-1, sure, but he doesn't have any. He doesn't have a Baneling nest. He doesn't have a Roach Warren. He doesn't have any tech units just yet. His lair will be done soon, but it's going to be about maybe 2.5 minutes before we see an Infestor on the field. So this next push from Kas could actually do a lot of damage. Baneling nest just now starting for Slivko. He needs to be very, very careful and cautious about how he proceeds with this game. The rocks will die, but there's actually Zergling speed's not done yet. So if Kas pushes the 3rd base, he can actually just kill this. He can just kill the 3rd, deny it again. And I mean, when I say again, I mean in the sense that preventing Slivko from getting a 3rd base by applying constant aggression. Starport is about halfway done. Reactor coming up for it. He doesn't have anything to stop this. The Zergling speed's not done yet. These Marines can micro all day, every day. 3rd base is going to have to get canceled. He cannot hold it. And there we go, cancel. Drone gets picked off. And Kas, I feel like it'd be a bit silly for him to step any farther forward onto this creep. He's going to scan, kill the tumor. I think that's about as greedy as he should be. There's a lot of Zerglings here. Baneling's starting to be morphed in now. Kas needs to get out of here. I think he should just regroup, get the rest of his Marines together with his force, and prepare for the big medevac push. And that's what he's doing. He's heading over to the right side. But Slivko actually queues up drones to go build a 4th and a 3rd base. So this is what he needs to do, double expanding. You know, I'd say Slivko doesn't actually have anything to defend the 3rd or the 4th, but the only way for him to come back in this game is he's got to do something crazy. Kas is still only on 2 bases. There is no 3rd command center for our Eastern European Terran, but Zerglings are moving up now. Kas, I mean, he's looking really sharp. Combat shield's on the way. The medevacs are coming. There are some. Did he cancel those Banelings? There are 2 Banelings on the field. Slivko has a good number of units in the top center position. He's actually going to randomly catch these Marines, but the Banelings get killed. Marine stim, they should be able to deal with these Zerglings. I mean, he doesn't have combat shield, but I guess they're just enough Zerglings to kill the majority of these Marines. But Kas, stutter stepping like a machine, gets into a choke point behind this mineral line, and trades it out as effectively as he can. All of the Marines do die. That was really random and awkward how he just caught those Marines there. That's really weird. Like, that's just so unlucky. I don't even understand how that craziness happens, but Kas, he has a lot more Marines ready already, and he has his combat shield about to complete. He's got medevacs out. He's got tanks on the way. He's getting that third base up very soon. He's not a guy to sit on 2 bases forever. Command center starts, and Kas, well, he should be able to deny this 4th and this 3rd. Infestors are on the way, but I don't recall seeing pathogen glands research. Okay, it is complete, so his infestors started a little bit late, actually. So we weren't timed perfectly with the pathogen glands, but they're coming out. There'll be 4 of them. Kas should be able to kill this 4th base and just get out of here, though. Banding speed, 70% done. And now the Zerglings are going to see this. Kas, he's sniping this hatchery. He needs to split a little bit. The Banelings are coming up. There are infestors that can fungal. 1 fungal would pretty much guarantee all these Marines dying. But I think Kas, yeah, load up the drop. Go for a little multi-pronged aggression. Drop in the natural as I say that. Picking off some of these Zerglings, pulling the units back. The 4th is exposed. Kas will be able to pick this off. Drop, headed over towards that 3rd base. The natural expansion is safe for now, but a couple of drones have died. Look at the workers killed. Kas has killed 18 drones so far this game. Kills that 4th hatchery. Now the 3rd base. Drop landing here as well. The infestors and Zerglings are poised to defend this, though. Banelings ready as well. So Kas is just going to get out of there. Whiffs on the fungal. Misses it. And Kas, he gets away. He will live to die another day. 3rd base about to complete. Kas adding on additional barracks. He has his tanks out. He has not started siege mode, though. And I will say, +2 tech is on the way, though, so that's nice as well. And these Marines are going to try to fight, but Marines with no medevacs. Ooh, those infestors really do a lot of damage. Slivko gets a nice little catch here. So Slivko doing pretty well for himself and trying to hold off the aggression, but he's taking a lot of damage. These Marines even killing another queen. Drop, double drop in the natural. Kas is just everywhere. He's hitting all of these points all of the time. This reminds me a lot of game number 1. And these Marines, man, they're 1-1. The Zerg player has finished his 1-1 as well, but Kas is going to get away again. Barely losing anything. Wow. So now we have Kas. He's continuing macro up, really. He just needs to keep building Marines and tanks. Slivko is in an interesting position because he's starting a hive now. And another infestation. Okay, I guess he lost his. I didn't even notice that. Kas, man. He's sniping everything here today. So that also delays the hive as well. Keep that in mind, guys. He can't move into Broodlords anywhere near as fast as the last. Actually, by this point in the last game, both players were on like 4 bases maxed out. Like, it was ridiculous. But now we have Kas. He's getting ready to move out again. There's a bunch of Zerglings, but these Marines are ready. They have that +2 attack upgrade. The Zerglings +2 is also finishing. Actually, both players' upgrades are like dead even. Both around 95 seconds for the armor upgrade level 2. So it's pretty interesting to see the way that this has been panning out. But Kas, he's just done a lot of damage. Getting supply blocked pretty hard though now. Going to start 2 supply depots. I wouldn't be surprised if he used the call down supply, and he does. He does use that call down supply, really. I'm trying to see which depot he called down on, but the supply just went up, so yeah, there we go. But there's going to be an engagement here. The infestors and Zerglings are moving in. Kas split reasonably well. The medevacs aren't covering all of the units, but Slivko goes for a little bit of aggression. Not able to do too much. He's going to try to chase down these infestors. He's going to force them to burn a lot of their energy, so really great trade here from Kas. Just kind of running into them. This is pretty a pretty good hold from him. And the 4th base now, going to be taken for Kas, is actually going to be up and running at the same time as the 4th base for Slivko. So as a Terran player, if you're on even bases with a Zerg, you're generally in a good place, I have to say. So this is pretty good. I'm not 100% certain how Slivko plans to bring it back, but he's gotten, he's doing as much as he can. He's getting his macro going. We have the hive about to complete. The spire is ready. More infestors. Slivko is going to possibly move into that Broodlord composition, and he has a pretty solid chance we can get up a good number of queens and saturate this 4th base is really what he needs to do right now. I would say try to get a 5th, but he just needs to play a bit cautiously because the pressure from Kas, I mean, once he popped, he just didn't stop, just rolling aggression again and again, multi-pronged drops. And Kas kind of let it dwindle down a bit now. It's simmered. No drops lately. He might just be going for a big frontal push to win this. He needs to be careful. Split the Marines, the tanks, our siege. Fungal hits the medevacs. The Zerglings are stepping forward. There are some Banelings here, but there's not enough support for the infestors. Gonna throw some infested Terrans, but there are a lot of Marines ready to join and jump into the fray. And Slivko is still trying to spread creep, and that's one of the things that's not been going so very well. Double drop in the natural expansion. Kas is pushing at the same time down the center lane. Now the Marines trying to take out this queen. He's focusing down the most important units, the production, because Slivko just doesn't have too much. And now that 4th base is in jeopardy. We have the Marines and Siege Tank position just outside with these medevacs. 3-3 is on the way for Kas. He's getting additional barracks. Now the Marines, he needs to split them a little bit. Fungal hits them though, and there are Banelings on the way. Kas, need to be very careful. The Infested Terrans actually getting a really great surround. Kas's little army here might be overwhelmed, and Slivko does a great job at holding his 4th base. In the meantime, drop into the natural expansion. Again, 2 more medevacs from Kas. Trying to force as much aggression, kills off drones, mining gas. That's so important. Denying the Zerg player the gas. We have the Greater Spire about to complete, but what bank is there really to produce the units that he needs? The natural expansion. He's throwing all of his queen energy into transfusing it, but it will die anyway, and that's a really great trade for these Marines. If the medevacs get out, to be even better, but they will also die. But there's already another push prepared from Kas. This is super scary, but I will say Slivko will manage to get up to his Broodlord tech. The question is, how much of it will he be able to afford? Will he be able to actually get up a 5th base, make a serious push down the center of this map? I'm honestly not so sure. Kas has his 4th base, but the supply is a lot more even than it was previously. He's trading a lot in these engagements. He's really slowing down Slivko, but Kas needs to move into additional starports. He needs to get ready for the Broodlords that he lost to in the previous game. He's got double factory production going, now actually triple factory, so he can pump out a lot of siege tanks, but those aren't so great against the Broodlords. There are 4 on the way, and this I think is the biggest issue for Slivko. He needs more time. He needs to be able to get up more Corruptors, get up more Broodlords, and really build up a good Zerg death ball. The other problem is losing the Queens. He can't bring them really to transfuse. A lot of their energy was expended, but now the Infestors trying to throw out a couple of Infested Terran eggs. They're trying to do a little bit of a face check, make sure there's nothing coming at him. But more Broodlords are on the way, 3 more, so he needs to bring these rest of them up here, because honestly, this Marine push, all Kas needs to do is just split really, really well. There are a lot of Zerglings though, but the thing to note now, Kas's 3-3 is finishing right now. And the problem with this for Slivko is that he only has 2-2. He has not started his 3-3 upgrades. The Broodlings will not do as much damage as they should. The Zerglings will not do as much damage as they should, and the Infestors will die. I mean, it's kind of a hilarious thing to notion at, but they'll die even faster than they normally would. And now, drop hitting the 3rd base. Kas moving in here. He still has some units by the potential 5th area for Slivko, but this drop is poised. It gets caught, though. He doesn't really micro it. And we have a big drop with tanks and medevacs coming in towards the natural area. This drop by the 3rd, it won't be able to do too much, but at the same time, Kas is going to push the center lane, and well, this is going to be interesting. On the left side, we have these medevacs dropping. The tanks are here. He's going to try to siege up, but there's really not enough Marines to support them. The tanks on the high ground might be able to get Infestors, though. This could actually be crazy. Picking off the Infestors from the high ground with these siege tanks. Great play by Kas. Now he's moving in towards the middle area. Now, there are Corruptors that are a little bit vulnerable. The Marines splitting up a little bit, besieging the tanks. These tanks on the high ground have actually done a ton of damage. We have 8 collective kills between them, killing the drones that are trying to mine here. And the Broodlords, though, are going to be able to shove Kas back. Kas needs more production, I think, is his biggest issue. He has plenty of barracks for pumping out Marines, but I still haven't seen too many more starports. Now we finally have them here with the reactors. And Kas, he's getting up a ton of barracks, and he's moving into that really scary Terran late game position where you can go for something like battle cruisers. And he's on 5 bases to Slivko's 4. As a Zerg player, you never want to be down on bases versus the Terran player. This is a nightmarish scenario to be presented with. Kas is going to start going down the east side of the map. But, I mean, he's going for a lot of drops, and it's kind of funny and flashy, but the problem is he's not actually killing the expensive units for Slivko. He can't, this isn't a joking matter when you're dealing with Broodlords, man. This is some serious business. And there's 10 Broodlords on the field now, so the numbers are increasing. The Viking count needs to subsequently also increase, or we're going to see a repeat of the last game where both players had a lot of money and one player just didn't have any anti-air. So, well, Zergling's trying to move out. Kas is positioning himself to try to put a chokehold and deny a 5th base. Slivko can't expand top. Oh my goodness, at the same time we have a drop in the natural. Marine stimming up, denying this gas, man. Look at this, this has barely been mined this whole game, these gas geysers. And now Kas stepping forward, killing additional drones. And now the Broodlords are moving up. There's still not really any Vikings to deal with this, so the Broodlords with the tank support, funny to say that the tanks are supporting the Broodlords, should be able to clean up this drop, but not before Kas does a ton more damage. Now pushing in towards that 4th base. There are a couple of Vikings, but not a lot. Kas is stepping backwards now. He's going to deny this 5th base, though. There's a nice little clump of Marines trying to stop this. Barely gets it. No cancel. And, well, the natural expansion stuff's been cleaned up, but Kas now has a scary supply lead. This is actually kind of ridiculous. He's got so many orbital commands, so many barracks. I'm surprised with how many starports there are. We don't have any battle cruisers being made. Something that Kas really likes to do. We have quite a few starports on the map. But Kas at this point can pretty much do whatever he wants. He's got so much money. If he wants to transition into some sort of Marine, Thor, medevac push, he can do that. If he wants to go into Battlecruiser, Raven, he can do that. If he wants to just keep doing Marine tank and dropping everywhere like a machine, well, he can do that as well. And these two tanks position, he's going to try to just bypass this, possibly go straight into the main. And the issue is that these Broodlords are so slow. So much of Slivko's supply, what little he has, are in Broodlords and Infestors, and these not the fastest units ever. And these tanks might actually be able to pick off the +3 attack upgrade. That'd be monstrous. But here we go. Kas in the main base, going to pick off even more drones, killing Overlords, picking off Extractors. He could go for the attack. The Greater Spire is researching that +2 Flyer Carapace. Kas is going to try to kill that. Maybe going for the Hive first, and at the same time, Kas has a push arranging outside of the 5th base area for Slivko. The Broodlords aren't in position to defend against this, but he's losing everything behind in the main base. His economy is still in a bit of shambles. Kas, he's got a ton of command centers. Like, this guy kind of becoming a little bit funny. But the Viking count is here, and despite the Broodlord count, there aren't too many Corruptors. So all Kas needs to do is just not lose his Vikings to Fungals. But drop in the 3rd base. Drop still moving around in the main base. Finally cleaned up, actually. And drop at the 5th base. That gets shut down. And there's still medevacs. There's just medevacs everywhere, just kind of hanging around. These actually show up on the minimap as yellow. It's kind of funny. Medevac still chilling here. And he's going to pick up some of these units, trying to go for more drops. But Kas, man, this whole half of the map basically become his. I want to look at the structures tab. Thank God Blizzard added that. We have 3 regular command centers, 2 planetary fortresses, and 5 orbitals. So we have a lot available for Kas. He's going to get 3 of those 3 command centers, going to turn straight into orbital commands. He's going to have so many mules ready. Corvette reactors coming in, Terran ship weapons. We have Ravens on the way. Marines poised at this 5th base. He doesn't even care. These medevacs are just kind of loitering, as it were. So many starports, actually. We have 10 starports available for Kas. He is getting ready to move into the Terran Death Ball. Battlecruisers, Ravens, Vikings. Oh my, this is quite a bit. He's going to try to stem down this, excuse me, this hatchery, but not able to. What? Slivko he just killed his own hatchery. He misclicked. Oh my goodness. He killed his own hatchery. The Corruptors caught one of the medevacs, but it looks like he just killed his own hatchery. I didn't see any Marines there. Ouch. And medevac going to try to drop again. The hatchery is restarted, but a little sour about that. And there's a single Zergling in the top right trying to do some damage. The +3 attack upgrade did finish for our Zerg player, but he did not start Adrenal Glands because he lost his Hive. So he actually can't get anything together to deal with this. So this is actually pretty scary for Slivko. And right now, Kas is just like, I'm going to make a bunch of battlecruisers, man, and just face roll you. Actually, maybe it's just going to be a Raven Viking. I don't know. I don't actually see was there a fusion core built? No. Actually, there is one. So +2 Terran ship weapons, building armor coming in, high sec auto tracking, and Slivko, he's basically just hoping he can turtle everything out with this death ball of Infestor Broodlord. But the problem is, Infestor Broodlord does not a battlecruiser army compete with. So Kas now taking the last remaining base on the top area of the map. He just has production for days, and the Raven count is going to build up very slowly and become a very scary number. He's got 6 Ravens here, actually 7. He has 1 back home, and a bunch of Vikings. He hasn't even started building battlecruisers yet. He might just try to kill this air army. He doesn't actually need battlecruisers to compete with this. Although I will say the battlecruisers are much stronger versus fungal growth. It's very, very difficult to deal with that. But we have more drops coming in. Drop into the main base. That lair might actually get shut down. No Zerglings attacking. We have an SCV train going to attack that 4th base. And, well, we have Thor. So he's going to try to put pressure on here and drop Thor harass coming in. The fungal growths on that Thor. And he's going to try to just pick off Infestors with this, but not able to do too much. The Infestors not in position to get these Vikings. There are Raven Seeker Missile heading over towards the Corruptors. Gets a nice hit on those. And, man, this is... Well, just +2 ship weapons coming in for Kas. He's got to build up some gas. He actually doesn't have enough gas. He wasn't really mining too much to get together an actual battlecruiser fleet. So Kas needs to watch his economy. He doesn't have too much gas income. Throwing the Seeker Missile onto the Infestors. 1 Seeker does kill 1 Infestor. He tries to step up. The Corruptors want to snipe the Ravens. 1 Fungal does hit all of the Ravens, though. They're beginning to die. A little bit of a slip-up from Kas. Slivko taking a lead in supply here. Doing quite a bit of damage to this army and getting fungal growths on everything. Kas is actually going to lose this army to the Mass Infestor Corruptor play from Slivko. So, I mean, he's got a lot of money. He has a lot of bases. He actually isn't mining too much, though. There's barely any SCVs mining in the 5th base. The 7th base, I don't even know what number base is anymore. There's barely anything mining in the top right side. He's not getting gas at barely any of his expansion. He's actually missing SCVs on these geysers. So, nothing like battle cruisers yet. He's just going to make more Ravens and a ton of Marines. And I think Casa decided, okay, units that can get fungal growth like that, not going to be quite as effective. But +2 flyer weapons, this game has been protracted for quite a while. I still think that Kas has an advantage just because he has so much resources available to him. Look at all these mules. Actually, I want to see, there's 11 mules on the field right now. This is absurd. He just has so much income. Actually, let's look at the income tab. He's making 3,200 minerals per minute. No, 3,500. This is insane. And now with these SCVs showing up, once Kas starts mining gas again, which I think is his biggest issue right now, he can move right back into battle cruisers or Ravens, Vikings, what have you. But just pure Marine, we have 2 more Broodlords being made for Slivko. Like, this is the life that Slivko wants. This is the life that Slivko has chosen, I guess. I don't really know what to say about this, but there's a lot of Broodlords and Infestors. Yeah, he's got about 12 Broodlords, so that is quite a substantial amount. Kas moving out towards the center of the map again. He has a big ball of Ravens and Vikings. Just needs to make sure he doesn't get fungled this time. More command centers being made. I don't even know. Like, he doesn't actually need these. He's like troll centers or something. But now he's moving forward. He's bringing the SCVs to help tank some damage. Of course, those SCVs have 10,000 armor when they're accompanied by Ravens. But he's going to go for another drop. It's going to be a tank and some Marines. So Kas, he's throwing away these workers. And I love how many Broodlords just immediately just like fling onto these workers. Like, that's a lot of attacking damage. And Kas, I don't think he notices there are changelings. Okay, there he goes. Immediately takes those out. So nice catch. Actually kills one of his own Marines. It's like, oh, sorry about that, man. But drop in the natural. Mind you, this gas has been available here for a long time. So Kas is denying of economy. Sure, he denied it, but it's still here to eventually take. So the follow-up drops are good. And Kas is spreading out to try to deny the additional bases of Slivko. We may be able to force an engagement here. He needs to just not get caught by the fungal growth. And the natural expansion for Slivko dies yet again. Some of the Broodlords have been peeled off to help deal with this, but Kas, he's everywhere. And, well, he's got more command centers than he could probably think of things to do with them. We may see the most epic mana mules in history, but I don't think Kas is really the guy to do that. Kind of funny to think, though, that this game did start off with a 2 racks, 11-11 from our Terran players. That's pretty hilarious. Now the Ravens moving up. He's going to try to drop some secret missiles on these Corruptors. Not the greatest at point defense drone to defend a lot of Marines here, and it looks like Kas might actually not have enough to stop this. The Vikings are getting good hits on the Broodlords, though. The Infestors not killing the Vikings quickly enough. About half the Broodlords are gone. The Marines are pushing through. They may be able to finally kill off these Broodlords, but the Infested Terrans are going to be just enough to hold off a lot of these Vikings. Focus on the point defense drone, but the last Broodlord for Slivko will die. And, of course, there's another drop in the main base because Kas is everywhere at once. Somehow not at this base, but I feel like after losing all those Broodlords, what do we have left? Let's see. There's 2. The 2 that were peeled off to deal with the drop are still on the left side. There are 11 Corruptors and 9 Infestors. So, theoretically speaking, he actually can get more Broodlords if he gets the resources to do so. But that's going to be really difficult. Because the problem here now is with the Corruptors he has left, if he turns them into Broodlords, he won't actually have any anti-air to deal with the Vikings because half the Infestors died and they expended all of their energy. So, 9 Infestors, that's actually half, man. But now there's a ton of Vikings. We have Kas pumping out a ridiculous number of them. Basically just trying to say, okay, man, I think I'm just about ready to kill you. He's pushing in one more time. Will Slivko be able to hold it off this time? I don't know. There's only 2 Broodlords to assist. There's the GG from VPbenQsLivko. Empire.Kas takes game number 3 in this best of 5 series. And I just witnessed probably one of the... I feel like Kas had that game pretty much the whole time throughout. No offense, Slivko. But Kas really threw away a lot of units. I don't know, really crazy game. Keep in mind, guys, that's just game number 3. We have at least... one more game in this match, so this is going to be really, really awesome to see the finale of this. We don't So Slivko basically needs to win 2 more to stay alive. This is the Russian Star League playoffs, by the way, for those of you who aren't familiar, brought to you by Rhythmix. And yeah, I'm your caster, Nathanias. I'm really glad to have you guys all here. We'll get into the next game as soon as we can.